Welcome. The topic for this RMS support tutorial is how to complete a weather modification. Now let's get started. What are weather modifications? Weather modifications are used in the event that weather creates delays in the project. They are used to add days to the schedule of the contract. This way, contractors and the government can justify reasons for the project taking longer and report data that appears inaccurate. In some cases, this may also increase the contract value. Completing a weather modification is done in two parts. The first part is creating a change request. A change request is generated in anticipation of a potential or real modification to the contract. The process generates what is known as a basic change document, or BCD. The BCD describes the change, the reason it is necessary, the initial estimated cost, and the time impact. The second part is creating a formal modification that may become part of the contract. To complete a weather modification, navigate to the Finances tab, then the Contract Changes module. Click Add. This menu displays different types of change requests. For this demonstration, we will select Add New Change Request for a weather modification and click Next. From here, you will choose the dates that the weather modification will cover for the contract period. In this case, we know that there were adverse weather delays in the month of January. We will select a From date towards the beginning of the month and a Through date towards the end of the month. You can alter the change request number by typing in a unique and valid change request number in the change request number field. The reason code will automatically be set to E, which stands for Excusable Delay for No Fault. You may also add a specific section to reference this change request by clicking Select a Specification. For this demonstration, we will leave this section blank, then click Finish. We will now begin to edit the change request information. Starting with the Inception tab, you can edit the change request title, inception date, discretionary change approved date, mod required date, and date canceled. In order to complete the change request, the dates for inception, discretionary change approved, and mod required date must be entered. The agency, reason, and mod type codes are listed in blue and can be edited accordingly by clicking the blue boxes. This will bring up different codes to choose from. Select the appropriate codes and press OK. If necessary, you may add selected staff members to this change request in the sections below. You may either manually type this information or click the Select Staff button to bring up the menu of staff members to choose from. At the bottom, you can also click this option to convert this change to part 1 of a multi-part change. The user can choose to create a single part change request, which is the default, or proceed with a multi-part change request, which sets the change request up to copy certain elements to successive change requests to minimize typing. For this demonstration, we will leave the default options. We will now move on to the Description tab. This section automatically creates a BCD item that will display a description of the change as seen at the bottom. If this table is not populating with information, the reason is most likely due to weather delays not being filled in the QC or QA daily reports. Remember, both the QA and QC reports need to reflect the same information in order to display appropriately. For more information on how to properly complete a QC daily report, click the link in the description box of this video. The weather delay module must be completed for the month that the delay occurred in, prior to the dates populating the BCD area. To edit the BCD item further, double-click on the item. From here, you can edit the specific paragraph, contract drawing number, initial estimate, phase times, as well as any description of changes, change in drawings, specifications, and necessity for change. Once the appropriate information is filled out, click the back button to save. Checking the change includes adjustments to quantities on existing CLINs adds a special BCD item that provides the quantity variation button in addition to other elements. This allows changes to quantities of a CLIN. This option is not usually needed for a weather modification. Check with your district policies, contract settings, and the specific issues to determine if this box needs to be checked for your weather modification. If this change request requires status and funding, click the Status and Funding tab. There will be a list of required checkboxes that will need to be checked if the contract requires these options. For this contract, BCD required is checked and a date completed can be entered. The change request / funding status drop-down box needs to be changed to approved before the change request can be used in a modification. Once you have completed all the other steps, change this drop-down to approved to complete the change request. In this demonstration, we'll use 5 for approved. When the change request is completed, it can be entered into a contract modification by itself, or it can be included with other change requests to form a completed modification package. The Claims and Disputes tab displays any contractor claims or disputes. This tab allows editing of any claims that are associated with this change request. Finally, we have the Supporting Documents tab. This section is where all the documents associated with the change request can be edited or viewed. Many different types of documents such as RFIs, narratives, and modification documents can be linked to the change request. If there are no other edits that need to be made, click the back button twice to save the changes to the weather modification request. If you enter the Contract Changes module again, you can now verify the basic change document has been completed as well as any other required information. The completed information will display a green check mark. This signifies proper completion of the change request. After the change request has been added, proceed to complete a modification as normal. For more information, click the link in the description box below on how to complete a modification. In summary, we covered the overview of weather modifications and how to create and complete a weather modification change request. We hope you found this video informative and thank you for watching.